Hi, I'm Pete Farmer here in the shop introducing the Farmer Rambler BackBeat. When you get it out of the box, you'll have the frame and the bass drum all attached to it. It's an 18-inch shell with an 18-inch depth. Simply turn it around and you'll undo your mast with a single wing nut. You're pretty much ready to go. But first, let's take a look at this mast. You're going to want to have something on it. It's not going to be very fun to play with unless you have something up there jingling. I recommend the jingles because they have a nice, good, solid, crisp punch. If you want to go for the cymbals, take off your rubber piece, find your bottom hat, simply thread that on there, and kind of push down that rubber grommet so that it kind of holds the cymbal from wobbling too much. Now for your hi-hat clutch, simply take off the bottom felt and bottom nut, thread that through your top hat. In this case, we have a really nice set of 13-inch hats. If you were to choose to do bigger, you might get a little bit top-heavy and it's going to be closer to your head. So we recommend between the 10 and 13-inch varieties of top hats and hi-hats. Go ahead and get a lot of clearance there, maybe about a ½ inch or more, so that when you pull down on your cord, it'll have a nice, good, clappy splash to it. If you'd like to tilt it, there's a little mechanism right here that tilts the whole bottom hat all the way down. You get a kind of a more of a jangled sound that some people like. Let's go ahead and take a look at inside of your bass drum. You can extend the length of that spring by pulling up on the bolt and tightening off the rod. If you'd like to have your beater a little bit further back towards the head, simply find that little drum key off to the side, undo where that chain is connected, and you can move it a little bit further back, depending on how much of a swing you want. Better to play it, find out what you like, and if you experiment with something else down the road, perhaps you'll find a better way to get at it. Again, also comfort's really important when putting on your BackBeat. So here, there are some straps here, and again back down here and across your waist, so you can have a nice snug feel. You want it to be really connected to your body with the cords that are coming down all the way through your legs, and we'll get to the feet cords now. Alright, you got your straps, you took your shoe off, and you loop it through the top and then back underneath, so that in the back you have just the two eyelets of the strap. We do have a small size available as well. But once you have it in your shoe and it's tucked in, tie your shoe, make sure everything feels nice and firm, and you're good to clip it in when you put your BackBeat on. Alright, now that we're ready to put this thing on and we have our feet clips on, what you can do is either put the hi-hats or this Toka ring or this LP ring, which is pretty much the biggest jingle bomber you can have. Alright, let's go ahead and strap in. Okay, take your tiger eye clip and put it through the two eyelets. And then you want to find out when your ideal stroke is. And I would say that it's probably going to be somewhere that's nice and strong length, firm back, everything like that. And you're going to take the wing nut. You can either pull that cord a little shorter or a little longer. Go ahead and tighten it up. Feels good to me. Alright, now that you're all set up with your bass, usually on your right, and your hi-hat on your left, or your jingles in this case, lots of different ways to play it. You can do it by bending your knees, bending your waist, bending your ankle, or bending your, well, whatever. I don't really know. There's probably a few other ways to play this. So you can get some kind of skippy beats or different kind of ways to do it, just depending on how your body is moving at any given time. It's kind of fun. It's an extension of your body, and you're just going to have to kind of feel out the motion and feel out the touch. Don't get frustrated too early. Just keep it steady and simple at first, and after that you can start throwing in some tricks. Hi, I'm Pete Farmer here in the shop looking at the Performer BackBeat. You'll notice the big difference is that the addition of two levers up top. Simply bring your mast up, lock it down in a vertical position. Pull your arms back if they haven't already been done so. Find your snare drum, put your snare wire down, and the butt of your snare outward, directly outward. Then you'll notice that you have all these tabs that you can put around the nearest lug. In this case, we just have the 3. And then you're going to be placing it on both lugs of the butt on this far end. And that's just going to keep your drum nice and secure so that when you're dancing up and down, you'll have this drum secured. All right, to insert the sticks, you have a knob to tighten where the stick would go, and a drum key option if you really want to torque it down and you're really happy with where that's at. Now in this case, I'll pull a stick and it hits a nice good dry hit on the snare, and that's about the position I want it. I can move this spring anchor to several different spots. It could be down at this spot if you want a really close hit, or if you want to bring that hit going up towards something that is placed up here. In this case, I'll go ahead and not use the spring, the jingle ring, but I will use hats. Again, take off the rubber grommet that kind of anchors down the bottom hat. Push that grommet back in. And with your hi-hat clutch inserted into the top hat, create a nice good distance between your hats. In this case, we have the two levers, like we said. So I'm going to add, in this case, 2 drumsticks. If you wish, you could even do a jingle stick, a seed rattle, or other type of hand percussion items that we sell on our website. So now I have 2 ropes pulling down on the snare drum. A few other adjustments for those levers are loosening up their spring mount. You can pull it down or up and get a different tension on the cords that you'll be pulling. If this headstock is in a different place where you want it, then you can also rotate that around. Or if you have a different idea about how this will all be working together, that is an option for you to have. Again, to adjust your springs, right in there is a drum key. It'd be best to take everything off, and also the drumsticks. But if you wanted to have this drumstick coming up and hitting the bottom of your hat, it's best that you relocate the spring to the back unit, and you'll have a little bit tighter pull on the string to activate the hit. There's a throw right here for the snare wire that's underneath it for a nice clean hit, and it's adjustable knob at the top. That's about all you can really do with your snare drum besides tune it for a higher pitch or a lower pitch. Same with your bass drum as well, which you'll find more information about on the Rambler video. So to go ahead and mount this to your body, hold on, enjoy the ride, because there's quite a few options. With this rope pulling down on this drumstick, a lot of people anchor it to the guitar headstock or the banjo headstock or any type of instrument that you're playing with your left hand. And on the right elbow, you can add kind of a chicken wing hit that gets you that other hit on the snare drum. Now, there's a lot of different rope configurations. If you want your hi-hat pull rod, you can also have that come through on this right elbow. Just simply reroute how all these strings are going through each individual pulley. That is also said for this. If you wanted to drop that down as well, you could tie this off so you could have a 2-for-1 hit. There's a lot of options and different ways to explore it, and I haven't even had the time to really develop a different sound with some of these different styles. So I think you'll even find that there's even more combinations that you can do. But with this drumstick as featured as possible, you can do a lot of interesting things. In this case, I'll just have it come up for kind of a big hit, if you will, on the cymbal. Oop. Well, that just hit the rim of the snare. Oop. So there are a lot of different things you can do. As far as putting it on, I suggest go ahead, get yourself strapped in just like you would on the Rambler, and then you can go ahead and start clipping into your guitar, put the strap of whatever instrument you're going to be playing with your hands around your body, and you will be strapped in, and with a Performer BackBeat, hopefully getting your back with a nice steady beat.